senior speech.
Good morning. Before I start, I just want to say happy birthday to my mom. She's over there. I've never really been a fan of Jack Rogers sandals. I'll probably never own a pair of Tory Burch flats, and honestly, I think Sperry's are overrated. My favorite shoes, on the other hand, are clunky, muddy, and kind of ugly. My hiking boots may not be in dress code, but they hold some pretty great memories and have a lot of life in them yet. I can't tell you what it is exactly that draws me to the mountains. Fresh air and natural beauty, well, that's part of it. The satisfaction of conquering a high peak is certainly a bonus. Whatever it is, though, that fuels this enthrallment of mine, this magnetism, I don't think I can put into words for you. Most of my friends don't understand it. The dirt, the bugs, the lack of indoor plumbing. I'm pretty sure I'm the only student in the history of Brooks School to actually enjoy the junior year Mount Monadnock hike. When I'm in the mountains, though, everything falls into place. Hiking, climbing, skiing, that's my joy. The thing is, I can't escape the mountains, no matter where I am. They're always on my mind. I read books about legendary expeditions, search for documentaries on Netflix, and if I spent less time Google imaging Patagonia and Nepal, I would probably have a better grade in calculus. As a friend of mine put it, mountaineering is more of an addiction than a hobby, and I can't argue with that. So what's your addiction? Soccer, music, biology, food? Maybe it's something totally obscure, or maybe you don't know yet. Your passion, whatever it is, will want to take over. It will absorb you, envelop you. It will commandeer your daily thoughts. Your passion will turn you into a complete and utter geek, but the very best kind of geek. The summer before my junior year, I had the privilege of exploring the peaks and canyons of Colorado and Utah with a group of then strangers. There, I met one of the most passionate people there is. Like me, my trip leader Hannah loves the mountains. More so, though, she's passionate about life. Hannah has spent most of the last 2 years seeing the world. She drifts from place to place, rock climbing, traveling, meeting new people, most of the time living right out of her backpack. Hannah goes against conventions. She follows her own set of rules, and she's always diving into an adventure. She's one of the few people I know who lives out her own dream as a reality. Hannah's a role model for me, and her lifestyle serves as an example of how thrilling each day can be if you decide to make it so. The most inspiring and influential people I know are those who, like Hannah, dive wholeheartedly into their passions with unfaltering enthusiasm. When I picture an ideal Brooks, I picture a community of students who take pride in their interests and who strive to share them with others. I want you to imagine for a moment what Brooks would be like if we all dove into our passions with unconstrained eagerness. Boring classes, though rare of course, would be a thing of the past. Weekends would be packed with activities, and students would get up every day, excited to make new discoveries. This campus would buzz with energy. We all have the potential for such enthusiasm. It's already here. I've seen it on the fields, in the classrooms, and at dinner table debates. I recognize it in my math teacher when he gets excited about some calculus concept. I've heard it in my friend's voice when she does her thing on stage, and I see it every time my hockey coach winds up for a slap shot. I may not be a math person or a musical theater fanatic, but these people have colored my Brooks experience. They make life and our school interesting. So how do we make Brooks this buzzing place I've imagined? I'd like to think that passion comes naturally and persistently, but sometimes we do have to make a conscious effort to engage in the things we love. We get caught up in the daily grind, and our thing, whatever it is, gets pushed to the back burner. I've tried my best to avoid this at Brooks because I believe that the part of me that loves the mountains is my most genuine part. But with Saturday classes, sports, and school, I've naturally spent far less time wandering the trails and speeding down the slopes than I would have liked. Instead, I've made it my constant goal to bring the spirit and mindset that I have in the mountains to my everyday life. I remember the mountains, and I seek to sustain my passion always and for everything I do. I worry sometimes that the path of my life will deviate from the mountains I dream about. I surprised myself even recently in choosing a college in the city over one in the mountains. I realize, though, that if something means enough to me, I'll find a way to chase it, no matter where I am. I want to repeat that. If something means enough to you, you'll find a way to make it a part of your life, no matter what. That applies to life here at Brooks. Don't let your packed schedule hold you back. Instead, mold it to suit you. Don't be afraid to seek out what isn't readily available. The best thing you can do for yourself and for the community around you is to indulge in your passion. Try out an independent study, start a club. Break through the monotony of every day and make sure to carve out time for what you want to do. Because if it's important to you, it's important to your education. Brooks isn't going to hold you back if you know how to make the most of your experience. Be confident in your decisions, allowing yourself to be taught and sculpted. Dare to be a teacher and a sculptor yourself. Brooks will only make you a fuller and a more confident person, so that when it comes time to dedicate yourself entirely to your passion, you'll be more than ready. My mountains will always be waiting for me, and so will yours. I'd like to end with a quote from author and civil rights leader Howard Thurman. Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, and then do that, because what the world needs is people who have come alive. Thank you.